Have you ever wondered why some women cheat in a relationship? You might think it's because they just don't care, but that's not always true. The truth can be a bit more complicated. Sometimes, women cheat for reasons you might not expect, and then they try to shift the blame onto their partner. Let's dive into this topic and see what happens when things go wrong in a relationship. 1. Emotional needs not being met. One big reason some women cheat is because they feel like their emotional needs are not being met. They want to feel loved, cared for, and special, but sometimes they feel like their partner isn't paying enough attention to them. Maybe their partner is always busy, doesn't listen to them, or just doesn't seem interested in what they have to say. When this happens, some women might look for someone else who makes them feel important. They might think, if my partner really loved me, I wouldn't feel so alone. But instead of talking to their partner about how they feel, some women might just cheat and then say, you didn't give me the attention I needed, so I had to find it somewhere else. 2. Lack of communication. Another reason women might cheat is because there's a lack of communication. Sometimes, partners don't talk about their feelings, problems, or what they need from each other. If women feel like they can't talk to their partner about their needs, they might start looking for someone who will listen. But instead of saying, I need you to talk to me more, they might feel hurt and decide to cheat. Then, they might blame their partner by saying, you never understand me. I had to find someone who does. 3. Feeling unappreciated. Some women cheat because they feel unappreciated. They might feel like they're always giving, but their partner isn't noticing or showing gratitude. When women feel like all their efforts go unnoticed, they might get frustrated and look for someone else who appreciates them. After cheating, they might say, I felt like you didn't care about me, so I had to find someone who would. Instead of talking about how they feel, they might hide the problem until it explodes. 4. Seeking validation. For some women, cheating is about seeking validation. They want to feel wanted and desired, and sometimes they don't feel that way from their partner. If they're not getting enough compliments or attention, they might look for it elsewhere. It's not always about love. Sometimes it's about feeling good about themselves. Afterward, they might say, you never made me feel special enough, so I look for that from someone else. Instead of talking to their partner, they shift the blame onto them for not making them feel wanted. 5. Feeling trapped or unhappy. Sometimes women cheat because they feel trapped or unhappy in the relationship. Maybe things aren't going well, or they feel like they've lost themselves. Instead of leaving the relationship, they might cheat because it feels like a way out. After cheating, they might blame their partner by saying, you didn't make me feel free anymore, even though it's their choice to stay or leave. 6. Revenge cheating. Sometimes, women cheat out of revenge. If their partner has cheated or hurt them emotionally, they might feel the need to get even. Instead of addressing the problem in a healthy way, they might think, if you hurt me, I'll hurt you back. After cheating, they might say, you started it. You cheated first, so I just did the same thing. This blame shifting can make things worse instead of fixing the relationship. 7. Excitement and thrill. Another reason some women cheat is because they crave excitement. Long-term relationships can sometimes feel routine or boring. If a woman feels like her relationship has lost its spark, she might look for adventure elsewhere. Unfortunately, instead of trying to bring back the excitement in her current relationship, she might cheat. Later, she might blame her partner by saying, you made everything feel dull. I needed something exciting. 8. Influence of friends or environment. The people women surround themselves with can also play a role. If their friends or social group normalize cheating, they might think it's not such a big deal. They might hear things like, everyone does it, or it's no big deal if he doesn't find out. Afterward, they could still blame their partners, saying, if you were a better boyfriend/husband, I wouldn't have listened to my friends. 9. Unresolved personal issues. Sometimes, cheating has nothing to do with the partner and everything to do with unresolved personal issues. A woman might struggle with low self-esteem, past trauma, or a need for validation that makes her seek comfort in the wrong places. Instead of acknowledging this, she might shift the blame, saying, "You didn't make me feel good about myself, so I had to find someone who did." 10. Emotional attachment to someone else. Some women cheat because they form an emotional bond with someone else, often without intending to. They might get close to a coworker, friend, or acquaintance and suddenly realize they've crossed a line. This emotional connection can feel stronger than the one in their current relationship. Instead of admitting their part and letting the bond grow, they might say, "You weren't there for me emotionally, so I connected with someone else." 11. Lack of boundaries in the relationship. A lack of clear boundaries in a relationship can also lead to cheating. For example, if a couple hasn't talked about what's acceptable and what's not, some women might test those limits. They might flirt with someone else and let it go too far. Later, they might justify it by saying, "You never told me it was wrong to talk to him like that." 12. Fear of commitment or boredom with stability. Some women cheat because they fear commitment or feel restless in a stable relationship. If everything seems too predictable, they might look for something new and exciting. Instead of appreciating the safety and love they have, they might create chaos to feel alive. Then they might blame their partner, saying, "I felt suffocated in this relationship, so I had to break free." Conclusion: how to prevent cheating and shift the blame game. Cheating doesn't solve problems. It only creates more pain. Both partners must work together to keep their relationship healthy and happy. Communication is the key to understanding each other's needs. If a woman feels unheard or unappreciated, she should talk about it instead of looking for answers elsewhere. At the same time, partners should avoid blaming each other for the problems and focus on finding solutions together. Remember, a strong relationship is built on trust, honesty, and love.